We all have a direct impact on the environment by the choices we make, whether that's what we eat, where we travel, our day-to-day purchases, or how we live our lives. A standard for the banking industry and technology developed by the Organisation for Sustainable Consumption and tech company ecolytiq informs consumers how their purchases affect the planet, with the aim to make them aware of their carbon footprint and its environmental impact. I'm joined now by the CEO of ecolytiq, Uli Peach, and OFNK CEO David Leis. David, as the founder, tell us how something as simple as the clothes we buy can really have an impact on the climate.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. As you said it already, everything we do actually has a direct impact on the environment. It doesn't matter if I drink my coffee in the morning or I'm buying a clothes somewhere. Everything we do has an impact. It's on the transport and the shipping, on the manufacturing, everything has an impact. And the problem, however, is to figure out how much this impact actually is and how much I'm causing by buying this impact. And the good thing is, in a consumption-driven society, everything we do is somehow linked to a purchase, or at least most of the things. And what we believe in is using this payment data in helping consumers to understand what is their individual impact on the society. And therefore, we thought we need a standard, an industry-wide standard, to actually make sure that all banks and industry have the same underlying methodology and the same values.
So, Uli, you developed a technology to really put this into practice. Tell us a bit about how it works and what some of its main benefits are.
Yes, I'm happy to do so. So we basically support three phases. The first phase is actually measuring the impact. And we do that on a transactional level. So for each of your purchases, we calculate a footprint. If you go to a restaurant and spend 30 euros there, we deliver you your CO2 value to it. If you book a flight, the same thing is happening. So we actually aggregate all your transactions and you get a monthly impact, which you can understand and which you can learn from. So measuring is very important. It's the basis of everything. And the second phase, after we measure it, is we educate consumers, because if we say that your restaurant visit is 36 kilograms of CO2, what does it mean? Is that a lot? Am I doing good? Am I doing bad? How can I reduce that? What can I do as an individual? So we give tips and tricks and hints how to reduce it. So on a category level, which means for the restaurant visit, for example, did you know you don't have to turn a vegetarian if you just exchange white meat for red meat? You can reduce your impact by a factor of 4. Did you know that? So little helpful tips and tricks for the consumer.
And who would you say are the main users of this, and is it widely available at the moment?
Yes, the main user. So we see ourselves as a B2B provider for banks. We enable banks to do sustainable banking and to implement sustainability strategies, because what we want to do is to have an impact. And how do we have an impact? We only have an impact if we speak to millions of consumers. And who owns these consumers? Who owns the payment transaction, purchase transaction of these consumers? These are the banks. So we offer our software to the banks so they can implement it and influence millions of consumers with our technology.
And David, why is using payment data so crucial in the fight against climate change?
Because we need to enable consumers on a very large scale to actually understand what is their individual impact, and also motivate them to actually do something about climate change. And payment data are not really perfect, but they are available in a very large matter and available for all of us in a very long time. And they're the perfect foundation to give a transparency to consumers.
And David, finally, looking ahead, what sort of impact would you like this to have now on society, on our planet, on a wider scale?
Well, the perfect scenario would be if all banks in the world would adopt the standard, and all banks in the world would kind of help consumers understanding where they are, and then helpfully guide them also on how to behave better for a more sustainable future.
Okay, David, Uli, many thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.